Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cynthia and I make parenthood and baby related videos. So if you like those type of videos, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below to get notifications on my videos, and hopefully they help you. That's all I really want, is to help other new moms out there figure out what they need. And so today I'm going to talk about baby items. Specifically, I'm going to give you a list of items that you probably need from newborn to 5 months. And I'm going to try and make this as general as possible because I know everyone's different, every baby is different. So I want you to be able to incorporate your research. Maybe someone in your family works for them and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to get that. Um, Basically your own type of person, who you are, and what kind of things you want to do, because I know what I do isn't necessarily good for someone else. For example, I'm a homebody person. I don't like going out. So for me, a stroller, I don't get much use of my stroller. I have a stroller, but I don't get much use of it. But I know people who are not homebodies like me and who love going out, flea markets, malls, park, who would definitely get use in a stroller. So that's what I'm talking about, how it's going to be kind of a general thing, because it needs to work with your personality and who you are, and stuff like that. Even before you become a mom, because yeah, we don't know what kind of mom we're going to be, but we do have hopes. So I'm rambling, and this tends to happen, so hopefully I don't ramble anymore. Don't want this video to be any longer than it needs to be. So let's get started. My first category is clothes, and I am going to go by category, or try to. So I have onesies and footsies, and you shouldn't need any more than 14 onesies and 14 footsies. They're going to be pretty much living in that all, like, the first year probably, or at least the first couple of months. With the footed pajamas, I do recommend the zipper one, not so much the buttons or the snaps, but they all work. Just, it's easier to use the zipper ones. I say 14 because this gives you a chance to, if they spit up and throw up, it gives you a chance to change them at least twice a day for a whole week. That's why it's 14. 2 times 7 is 14. So, but you're probably not going to have to change them 24/7. So, and if you wash more than me, which I wash once a week, but if you wash more than that, then of course you're going to not need that many either. But 14 is a good number. With sizing, like, do you really need newborn sizes? I recommend you do get them. I don't recommend getting them brand new because those are expensive and they're only going to wear them for like a little bit. But my daughter wore her newborn size clothes for the first month, like literally the whole month. She was in newborn clothes. So I do recommend getting at least 5 onesies in newborn and 5 footed pajamas in newborn, along with maybe 3 newborn pants, so you can make outfits if you do decide to go out, or if you go out and make little cute outfits or whatever. So the 14 that I was talking about earlier is like 0 to 3 months, and of course as they get older, 14, 3 to 6 months, and so on and so forth. Speaking of pants, I was speaking of pants earlier, a couple seconds ago. But pants, definitely good to have at least 5 pairs of pants, and try and make them to where they can correspond with the onesies, so you can make outfits. So you have 14 onesies, have them correspond with like 7 of them or something, and so you can have different outfits all the time. Yeah, like that. And let me look. Bibs. I do recommend bibs. It helps catch the spit up and stuff, so you don't have to change their clothes 24/7. So that's always good to have. So yeah, So, and if you have bibs, you can have less clothes because you're not going to be changing them that often because you're going to be just using more bibs. And yes, mittens for the little hens. When they're born with claws. I'm telling you, they're born with claws. And you don't want them scratching themselves, so having mittens on is really good. My daughter wore her mittens for the first couple months. I didn't have them on 24/7 because I wanted her to be able to touch things and feel things and have that sensory going on. But for the most part, they were on. If you haven't been gifted mittens or don't want to spend money on mittens, socks, you can easily use socks and put them on their hands, and it's perfectly the same thing. Speaking of socks, you should get socks. At least 3 to 5 pairs of socks, and that's because if they don't have PJs on, or if they don't have the pants with the built-in socks, then you're going to want to put socks on them when they have pants on, because their little footsies are going to be exposed, and you don't want them to get all cold and toasty or cold and stuff like that. A few outfits are good to have, mainly for like special events, birthday parties and stuff like that, or photos. I wouldn't say more than maybe 5, and that's excessive. 5 cute outfits, and that's because honestly, babies don't wear those special outfits with all the buttons and the lace and the puff. They're not going to wear those. They're going to be in onesies and footsies pretty much all the time. So if you're going to get outfits, they should be mainly for like special occasions or special outings or photos or something like that. Sleep sacks, they're great for transitioning from the swaddle into sleep sack. And so that's good to have, or you can just start straight into that. My daughter didn't really like being swaddled too much, so yeah. But yeah, I love my sleep sacks and stuff like that. Let's see, what else do I have on here? Burp cloths. I suggest at least 3 burp cloths. I love my burp cloths. I use them all the time. Everywhere I go, I take them. But here's the thing. They were gifted to me. I was gifted a pack of burp cloths. And so that's one reason why I use them. But you can easily use a receiving blanket or even a towel as a burp cloth. So you don't necessarily have to buy burp cloths. But if you get them gifted, they're great. Great to have. Blankets are great to have. Even if you have a summer baby, I do recommend getting some type of blanket. There's, I want to say, like, in my opinion, 3 types of blankets, like Muslim blankets, receiving blankets, and the fuzzy warm blankets. Now in the summer, my daughter was a summer baby, and I got Muslim blankets, and I love them. I still love them all the time. They're breathable and they're just awesome. They're great for like swaddling when you swaddle them in the beginning. They're great for covering the car seat, putting on the floor for tummy time. They're great for, I don't know, picking up spit up. They're just great for everything. So I do recommend, obviously, getting blankets because you're going to need them, whether it's in the summer or in the winter. So get those. And I don't really have a limit on blankets. I literally have a ton, but maybe 3 to 5. No, I say 3 Muslim blankets maybe. And then maybe 3 really warm blankets, because at some point it is going to get winter, so you should get those. That's it for like the clothing and like fabric, I guess, type stuff. Onto the bath stuff, and it's pretty much, you need something to bathe them in. And that's just obviously a given, right? So whether you're going to do it in the sink or in the bathtub, you need something to bathe them in. Our sink isn't big enough, So I bathe her in the bathtub, but in the bathtub I also have, well, I use a little bathtub because she's not yet big enough to actually be in the bathtub, or at least in my opinion she's not. So I have a little bathtub, probably like this big, and it has a little hammock on it to put them when they were newborn, and that's what she used literally until recently. I don't know why I say literally, but I just took off the hammock part, and she's sitting in there nicely. So yeah, that. You're also going to need washcloths and towels. Washcloths, honestly, you can use any washcloth. As long as as long as it's soft and not like super hard and scrubby, it's fine. And then towels, you can use any towels, but I do recommend using the hooded towels because it just covers their cute little heads, and sometimes it's cute if they have little ears. I don't know, but it's nice to have the little hooded towels. The washcloths maybe have 3 to 5 washcloths and 3 to 5 towels, depending on how many times you're wanting to bathe the baby. But you don't need a whole bunch of washcloths or a whole bunch of towels or anything like that. Oh, and you're gonna need some type of body wash / shampoo. Now, half of the babies aren't born with hair. My daughter wasn't born with like a full head of hair, like I expected. But so they don't necessarily need a shampoo and conditioner. And even if they did have hair, they shouldn't have a conditioner. It's mainly just shampoo or something. Or maybe they do need conditioner. I don't know. Basically, you should get the 2-in-1 that you can use on their head and their body, and to wash them. You could just use water, plain water, but I prefer using some type of soap. So, yeah. I think that's all for the bath stuff, and the next category is baby gear. And so basically you need a car seat for sure, 100% sure. You need a car seat. Right now I'm using an infant car seat, the ones with the handles, because it works for us. And then we also have a convertible car seat that we're going to be putting her in maybe in a couple of months once she grows out of the infant one. But you can even start in the convertible one, not even do the infant one. It's up to you. Do your research, see what you think will work for you. Just, you need a car seat in general. A stroller. I do recommend a stroller. I am a homebody. I stay home. I don't even use my stroller. I did once. That's because I literally had to. But everywhere I go has a cart, and the little carrier goes in the cart. So I don't use it. But if you go to the park, the mall, maybe even a flea market, somewhere that doesn't really have carts, even the dollar store, I don't like their carts. They don't fit my child at all. So, get a stroller. I do recommend a stroller. Even though I don't use mine, I still have one, just in case. Let's see, what else is on my list? A baby body carrier. Like the ring slings and the wraps and the regular ones with clips and stuff like that. Those. So they're great to have when your child becomes very clingy, and they will. And they're going to want mommy all the time. And you're like, well, I need to cook. I need to clean. I need my hands. But of course you want to give them love, and you're torn between being cooking and cleaning and taking care of your child. But it's great for that. I do wash dishes with her on it. I walk around the house because sometimes she gets really heavy, and it's just So it's actually easier to carry her like that than, I don't know. But I also use it outside of the house. When we're at the grocery store and she's getting a little fussy, I put her in that. And yeah, a baby body carrier is great to have. Also, what else is on your list? My list. So she's gonna need, or your child, I say she because I have a daughter, but your child is going to need somewhere to sleep. Now, whether that's a bassinet, playpen, crib, DockATot, co-sleeper, whatever it is, your child needs somewhere to sleep. I don't recommend getting a bassinet, and that's only because it's not going to last you very long. It's going to last you maybe the first 3 months, 2 to 3 months, depending on how big your baby gets. But, I mean, that's up to you, of course. As long as you have somewhere for them to sleep, that's awesome. I like my stuff to last a long time. So that's why I have a playpen. And so yeah, I have a playpen. That's where she slept. She also slept in her rock and play, or the little rocker thing. And then she slept in the bed with us. So she went 3 different ways in sleeping. So yeah, as long as you have some place for them to sleep, that's awesome. A baby monitor. I honestly didn't think I would use one, but I realized, holy crap, I need one. And that's because sometimes we'll be in the room and she'll fall asleep for a nap, and I put her down and I'm like, okay, I need to go make lunch, I need to go wash the dishes, I need to go attend to the dog, and how am I going to hear her if she starts choking or if she just starts crying? And it's like, you know, I don't know. So I was like, holy crap, I'm going to need a baby monitor. And even if your child is in the living room 24/7, because I know a lot of people who the babies sleep in the living room or something like that. Excuse me. Even if your baby is in the living room 24/7, you still need to sometimes go outside to do something, or maybe go into the garage and do laundry or something. You're still going to be away from them. So it's best to get a monitor. Mine was secondhand, so I don't really have any recommendations on baby monitors. Okay, so also a playmat is great to have. My daughter loves her playmat, playing with all the toys on the top. So yes, get a playmat. They love it. They start using it, or at least my daughter did, maybe 2.5, 3 months, around there, but she absolutely loves it. And so the last thing on the baby gear is something to put them in. And by that I mean either like a swing, a rocker, a chair, I don't know. Something to put them in so you can, you know, get things done, because you can't be holding them 24/7. And even if you have them on a body carrier, you can't really cook with them there because possible grease and stuff like that. So something to put them in. For the first couple months, I had the rock and play, which she slept in, but once she got more active and wanting to do stuff, she was in her playmat most of the time. I also had a little rocker that I had her in, that I connected a toy to it so she can play there. I put her in that one when she gets tired of when she wants to sit down, pretty much. It's not really in a sitting position, but it's kind of like in a tilting position so that she's not laying straight on her back. And she likes that one. And that's pretty much, I think, all I had of things to put her in. I also right now have a high chair, preparing for when she does start eating. Like, I wanted to get it now, that she's actually able to use now because it's a reclining one. And so maybe once in a while, to try and get her used to it, I put her in it. But other than that, she doesn't really go in it. So pretty much just the rock and play in the very beginning, and I think there's only 2 things that she actually sits in or whatever. Excuse me. Okay, so the last category I have other, and that's because I have no clue what to put these in, what kind of category to put them in. So I put like other. So, a pacifier. This all depends on if you want your child to have a pacifier, but I do recommend it because it helps them sleep and it helps them soothe. Some babies like them, some babies don't. If your baby doesn't like it, then don't force it on them. My baby liked it in the beginning, and recently she stopped kind of using it. She'll literally bite the sides rather than having the nipple in her mouth, so she doesn't really like it anymore. Or she doesn't really use it anymore, how about that? But the first pacifier she had was straight from the hospital, so I didn't even have to buy it, and she really liked it. So, yeah. If you want to try it to see how your baby deals with pacifiers, go ahead and just use the one at the hospital. And if they like it, then at 3 months, I believe, you have to get a new one, because the new ones are a little bit bigger, so they're not easier to swallow or something like that. But basically, once my daughter discovered her fingers, her thumb, she kind of slowly stopped using the pacifier. But it was still good for the first couple of months. Let's see. Yeah, a thermometer. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of thermometer you get, as long as you get a thermometer so you can check the baby's fever if you think she has a fever or they have a fever. So next on the list is a nail clipper. Yeah, because like I said, they're born with claws. Get a nail clipper. Now, I know a lot of people say not to use a nail clipper. Go ahead, obviously, talk to your doctor and see which one they prefer you to use, or how to take their nails, or cut their nails. Because a lot of people are saying that you should use nail files instead of nail clippers, and then some people are saying you should bite them off with your teeth. And so that's definitely not an option for me. And I tried a nail clipper. Not a nail clipper. I tried a nail file, and that just didn't work for me. So I use a nail clipper. Yeah. My suggestion, wait until they're asleep to cut their nails. Because if you don't, they're going to be moving. So, yeah. Get nail clippers. Let's see. What else? Oh, a hairbrush. Now, there's specifically soft hairbrushes for babies. Get those because their head's very sensitive and you don't want any other brush or whatever on it. So, get one that's really soft. But also depending on how much hair your baby has. I don't know. I just recommend getting the brush with the combs, because if your baby has long hair, then you're probably going to be using the combs. And if your baby's bald like mine, you're going to be using the brush to brush what little hair they have. Yeah. And speaking of bald babies, mine will be joining me for the last part of this video. So, let's see. Where was I? Oh, I was on this page. What we were talking about. Yes, hairbrushes. Because just get them. They have like a grooming kit you can get, which is good. A diaper bag. Basically anything to put their stuff in. If you want to use a really big purse, then go ahead. A regular diaper bag, that's awesome. Just something to put their stuff in, pretty much. Toys, and I say that lightly. When I mean toys, I mean like the soft toys. Mainly the toys that go on their mat. There are toys that you can buy separately to add to their mat. So if you get one from the thrift store and they didn't come with any, you can always just buy them on the side. My daughter loves her little toys that she has on her playmat, and pretty much all of them I bought separately. Yeah, you want to read it? Let's see what else is on there, huh? Yeah. Oh. So if you're going to go down the formula route, then obviously you're going to need formula. So yeah, do your research on that. We use the Gentle Ease formula, which is the purple can from the Enfamil, I believe. And that's because she was having trouble keeping down the yellow one. So there's that. Of course, bottles. We use Dr. Brown's. We also use Avent or Event ones and another brand, but I don't know. Bottles of bottles. My favorite ones are the Dr. Brown's though. You're also going to need a bottle brush and a drying rack, or at least some place to dry them. A bottle brush, obviously self-explanatory, to wash the bottles. You're not going to want to use a regular dish sponge. So get a special bottle brush. I mean, they have them at the dollar store. They might not last that long, but you know, they have them at the dollar store. Also, someplace to dry them. You can either get a drying rack, or you can just put a towel on the counter and put them upside down. Either way, as long as they have a place to dry. Obviously, you're going to need diapers and wipes. I think that's a given. Of course, unless you're doing the cloth diapers, but still, you're going to need cloth diapers. So, diapers and wipes. What else? I use Huggy diapers, or Huggies diapers, but I also like Pampers and the Costco brand. I think it's Kirkland. So those are also good too. Right now I'm using the Kirkland brand wipes, but that's mainly because I was gifted them, and a whole big box of wipes have lasted me, I want to say, maybe 3 months, going on 4 months, so that's a good length of time they're lasting me. But that pretty much concludes my baby list of items that you will probably need from newborn to 5 months. I also did a newborn must-have video. If you want to watch that one next, I will link it in the description box down below. But I really hope this video helped you, and I really hoped you liked it. And if you did, go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more parenthood and baby related videos, or maybe just to see this cute little face. My phone died, but I just want to let you guys know that I put out videos every other Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!